Yeah, against this right back, Charlie. Definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again. I hope everybody's doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and obviously in some cases, good night. I hope you're well and safe, especially the Arsenal fans. I hope you're well. You know, the beautiful thing and the harshest thing about life, it goes on. So you can either cry about the past or you can move forward. Now, if maybe certain people at a certain team had a certain attitude, we might be able to move forward. But we're going to be here several times over this 38-game calendar. And I'd say the good news for us Arsenal fans is that there's 37 games left. Obviously, sadly, in the next 2 weeks, you know, you've gone from playing a team who won the playoff final. You're then going to play European Championship winners, Champions League winners. You're then obviously going against Champions League finalists and Premier League winners, Man City. So it doesn't get any easier from there. If you're not going to be street smart and switched on against a side that's been promoted, it doesn't look good going to play a European champion. And a sense of even more, they're playing Lukaku, who's a better player than he would not. You know, he's a bully in front of goal. You know, if I'm Lukaku, seeing what Ivan Toney did without actually scoring, I'm fancying this Arsenal team. The City team should fancy us, and just about every team who plays Arsenal Football Club should back themselves. Any team who has anything close to a style of play, a sort of understanding with what their opposition and with what their manager wants, they have a chance against Arsenal. You know, the very things we saw yesterday against Brentford could be applied elsewhere. And I'd say the most impressive thing about Brentford and the most depressing thing about Arsenal is, bro, you didn't learn nothing about Brentford. Brentford, like I said, their kit's probably still clean. They didn't even have to be at 50%. You handed them their goals to this. Brentford, with respect to them, they did the bare minimum, which is listening to your manager, applying yourself in the game, standing up to be counted, you know, looking like you fit a piece to the puzzle in the system, you know. Game management, they were wasting a lot of time. They were making several fouls. You know, you allowed them to grow into the game. Everything that I wanted in my team, Brentford shown it. And it's not, and like I said, anytime we play a half decent team, we're gonna say this. You know, any team that can half press and half step is gonna put us in problems. Any team with switched on individuals, like you saw, you know, because for instance, I'm gonna get into it, but the goals we conceded, they were bait. How many times were they giving it to Ethan Pinnock? Long throws in. Why didn't we clock that? How many times was a man on Leno and not marked or not taken off Leno? And then it eventually led to a goal. Together with our poor mistakes, our naive tactical setup, our naive manager, pardon my language, a lot of these players are just shit, you know. They're shit in terms of technical ability. They're shit in terms of mentality. They think they're doing this club a favor. And I'm not the guy to carry on about stuff, but to reflect leadership. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and criticize Xhaka because I don't think he can be scapegoated for the game as much more so than anyone. But the man wanted to leave. Why is he now the captain? And I understand why he's the captain because I look around the bloody team. Who else could be captain? Really and truly. You know, it's Tierney and that's about it. Really and truly. Again, I'm not seeing none of these experienced players. Xhaka, Leno, Pablo Mari, fuck it, even Tierney. Why is Lokonga and Ben White doing press conferences? Where's the leadership? Because if we won, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not trying to be harsh, but if we won, all of these same experienced players, I'm asking, where are you? You'll be fighting to get to the top of the queue, like we all do. These guys can't get enough of them. When we drew against West Ham, when we came back from behind against Leicester, everybody was very quick to want to fry in front of the cameras. They only want it half the time, people. These guys in this team don't want it enough. They can lie to us and tell us they're working hard and things. The beautiful thing about football is you can fool some of the people some of the time, like you've seen with Mikel Arteta, like you've seen with this club, like you've seen with people actually believing we're the third best defensive side going off of last year. But you can't fool people all the time, like you saw with Brentford. You know, I don't know what's going to happen against Chelsea and so on. And again, it's a long season, but it's not good because fundamentally we are defeating ourselves before the opponent is playing us. How many times? Way before we talk about Brentford, we're going to sit here and talk about switching off our system, the substitutions, the bewildering roles, the inability to play out from the back consistently, the bad habits. Take nothing away from Brentford, but this is where I say we are our own worst enemies. We press the self-destruct button. We forever self-implode. I mean, to call us naive is an issue. I have an issue with that. I can't call you naive anymore because again, I think it's stupidity. You're going against a championship side. And I'm not saying that to mock them because they're a good team. But when I think of championship, I think of street smartness. I think of set pieces. I think of game management. You know, we're going against a team who's just been promoted, had to wait over 70 years to return to the top flight. They've won 5 of the last 6 against us, so maybe it was coming. But you get where I'm going. Their fans are there. They're buzzing. It's in a Premier League game. It's an away day. I mean, what did we go into it? It's like when we're winning, losing, or drawing, not that we was ever in front yesterday, you know, from a scoreboard point of view, we're playing the same way. And I'm sorry, but the team is a reflection of the gaffer. The man has been here over a year. There's no way you can sit there and say it's not his team. It's not his players. Even if he didn't bring players into this team, this is Mikel Arteta's side now. This is his side. He has decided who he wants, who he doesn't. Xhaka is not going to get a new deal if Mikel Arteta does not sign off on that. He probably didn't want Xhaka to leave in the first place, sort of thing, because everything sort of runs through him. We're in serious problems. And it's not going to get nice. And what is the issue is the club won't pull the plug if they see inconsistencies, because you're going to have to pay him out and his coaching staff. You're going to have to employ and start the whole managerial race again at the start of the year. You know, I understand the frustrations. I hear what a lot of people saying it's the first game, but it's not. These rumblings have been coming. Me personally, it feels like we've firmly, in a negative sense, picked up where we've left off last season. Nothing has changed. You know, there was not even a small smidget looking at that team, to the team that played against Palace on the last day, and say they look slightly better. They're doing something different. It's different dog, same toilet and whatnot, man. It's absolutely jarring. I'm still here, folks. One sec. Phone's going to die. So let me put that on charge, man. Phone, you know what? My phone's probably put up a better defense than Arsenal, because it's been on 3% for a hot second since I started this, man. It's an absolute madness. And like I said, you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can't fool people all the time, man. I just know when the chips are up, when it's time to stand up to be counted, man, are going to crumble in this team. You know, I'm tight. I big up the few individuals that stand up to be counted. You know, based on yesterday, I think Lokonga made some mistakes, but he tried, you know. Tierney tried again. It's bait, you know what we're getting with Tierney. Saka made a slight difference. Smith Rowe made a difference. I feel sorry for Balogun. He's a duck out of water. That's his first game, and at least with Balogun, you can see he can learn. Tavares, I'm not hearing him playing right back. Why he's coming on at right back, I do not understand when you've got legit options. But at the same time, offering more than certain sort of man, it's not making sense. It's bewildering. You know, it really is bewildering. And what I don't get with Mikel Arteta, it's the man management and the game management. Again, I'm no tactician and things like that. And listen, I'm not using Gary Neville to back up my point. But in the live stream yesterday, you lot saw me sit there and say, why are we not going 3 at the back? You could see it, that Mbappe, he's getting into the channels. You know, you go off the game in pre-season against Spurs. We know Marie, if he's pulled into wide areas, there's a problem. Have we not watched a single game Brentford have played? We know they're very good at pressing. They're very aggressive. You saw Tony was stressed out, Ben White, and when he was dropping deep, we're in issues. Their front line pressing, you know, Mbappe getting the ball into that channels. Why? It's like the players don't know their teammates. The players don't know themselves. They've got bad habits, and the gaffer don't know what's going on. You know, off the Spurs game, a lot of Marie struggles. We saw that the week before in pre-season, and then a lot of both of the struggles in the 2 previous games we've seen against Brentford and Spurs. We saw that against Chelsea. We switched off at set pieces in against Hibernian, Millwall, you know, and all of these teams. Can I be shocked? We did bullshit against Watford and Chelsea. Can I be shocked that it's a different dog, same toilet? You know, it was Bellerin and El Nene in pre-season. It's Chambers today. You know, it's going to be somebody else. You know, it's so annoying. It's jarring. It's like, what's going on in pre-season? Like, seriously, what you lot doing? Like, the players don't want it enough. The manager's deluded. The owner's bewildering with what they're doing. It scares me because there's no mentality. You're looking for a glimmer of hope. For me, it's the young guys. You know, because they show you a little thing. For Balogun, at least you can console yourself with he was out of his comfort zone. You should learn from that, innit? You know, it's all fun and games, bagging for 23s and scoring against Dundalk and stuff, but that's not the real world of football. You know, yeah, our job wasn't helped. You know, there's no Partey, there's no Gabriel, there's no Lacazette, there's no Aubameyang, but we've had every one of those players, and not to criticize them, they've been about before, and we've done the same result, the same performance, and we are going to struggle against any team that half looks like a football team, any team that's half organized. You know, big up Brentford, because now a couple of their players have got price tags. Look at Sergio Canos, living a movie, people. You know, didn't get an opportunity at Liverpool, came and done dirt. You know, again, someone who's a bit of a danger man. Again, naiveties. Again, you look at the Millwall in pre-season, we struggled to clear our lines and eventually we conceded. Yesterday, we're struggling to clear our lines. Chambers, I don't know why you're letting a right footer on the left-hand side onto his right foot. Fair play, I think it's stupid, but you did it. You know, it's these sort of decision makings. It's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And don't get me started on Marie and Leno playing out from the back. They're not good enough to play out from the back for what you want. It cannot happen. Marie doesn't trust himself enough. Yeah, I saw what Ivan Toney posted, man. Kick about with the lads. Man didn't even want to mention Arsenal. And he's probably added a few zeros to his price tag. You know, you start as you mean to go on. He's had a man of the match performance without bagging. Toney was good. Any half striker is going to do bits against his team. And if I'm Lukaku, I'm being real, people. I'm putting him in my FPL because he's going to eat. You know, there's food on the table at Arsenal and he's going to eat. I'm not even trying to make it a Ben White thing, but you've got Ben White who stepped into a mess of a system. You've got Chambers and Marie, don't know what's going on. Tierney's one man, he's not invincible. Leno's on something mad. You know, fancy it. City should, for any team that box Arsenal that is half like a football team, should box us. We're in the issue, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. James has said it's not quite doing dirt, but we're going to struggle against any team that looks like a football team, people. Anyone that's got a smidget of organization, you know, because we've got several bad habits. It's quite jarring, man. It's absolute jarring, man. It's just self-inflicted, man. Self-inflicted headaches, man. Congratulations to Brentford, bro. Brentford, like I said, they could all probably hang their kits up. You know, if I'm Brentford, really, their manager should say, we don't really need a day off. You lot come back in training, car. That's not, you know, I don't even think that's a game where you earn a day off. You know, that was some pre-season business. Their season starts next week. Yeah, we can console ourselves and say, oh, it's early in pre-season, it's the start. I mean, in the season, it's this, that. You can do all of that because you're not necessarily wrong. But it's some BS. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And this team, the wickedest thing is people will still condone some of this nonsense. New signings is half the job. Do you actually have faith in Arteta and Mikel Arteta and Edu not only sourcing the right players, but spending their money? Forget it. I know. Do you not have faith? Because I don't. I hope. Listen, when I see Al1, these names linked and Odegaard, I get it. But do you have faith that they'll spend that money correctly? Do you have faith in Mikel Arteta to spend that money correctly? Because now we're having the very thing I didn't want to speak about. It's only one game, but Ben White. Ben White's not a bad defender. He got stressed out yesterday. You have to hold that, you know. But you're exposing him. You're signing a centre half who, at the time, we don't know if he's significantly going to improve the team in a struggling defensive system. And you're thinking, work the magic. And the juice ran out. It's only pre-season, but the man was a one-man defense army against Spurs and Chelsea in pre-season. His luck ran out. His luck ran out in that game. There's a serious issue. Mentality is a problem. Personnel is a problem. The team being a reflection of the manager is a problem. We cannot sit here being 2+ years into this thing now and saying there is no system. There is no this. There is no that. What is the manager doing from 9 to 5 every day? We've heard double sessions. We've heard drones. We've heard non-negotiables. We've had all of this. I'm not saying he can do everything, but why haven't we seen a smidget of a team? We only half do that when we play these big games and we win them a couple of occasions. There's no hiding place. It's an absolute mockery, man. What are you lot doing in pre-season? What have you lot been doing? Because really, our pre-season should have started before everyone. Our last season was a write-off towards the end. You know, our season was a write-off. We should have been planning for next season then. That's why I was saying you could have played Balogun. Balogun could have learned these lessons like Martinelli against West Brom last year. You know, and I'm starting to believe now, maybe, you know, maybe Arteta is just not a number one. Maybe he has got all these ideas. One sec. Maybe Arteta is not a number one. Maybe he's got all these ideas and they're actually right. But some men are good number twos. They're just not quite the number ones. Maybe that's him. I want to be wrong, but maybe that's you. Because something's not clicking. Something is absolutely not clicking for these propaganda pieces and whatnot. Something's not clicking. Maybe you are that. Or what scares me is because, and the club are enforcing this. Did anyone call Arteta and say what happened there? What was the tactics? What you lot been working on in pre-season? Because the issue that we're now going to see is that, and I've said it before, Mikel Arteta might be a good manager, but is he going to be a good manager for Arsenal? You look at all the nonsense we've seen, and like he's done, the mistakes, the good things he's done, the things he's had to deal with off the field and on it, some right, some wrong. Yeah, you look at that. Yeah. that might make him a good manager for a next club, because he might learn the lessons that Arsenal go to. I don't know, let's say Man City, and cool, when I went through that at Arsenal, that didn't happen. Let me try this. This is the issue. This ain't meant to be an apprenticeship. And I don't know if we're asking legit questions. We're just letting nonsense run. It just seems like we live in a bubble. And again, the bubble gets popped. And again, self-awareness is crucial. Absolutely crucial. Please make sure we're hitting the like button, people. As I said, man, apologies is rubbish. I don't want apologies. I really don't need no apologies. I don't need you to say sorry. I need solutions. And that goes to the players, to the manager, just everybody else, man. I don't want excuses. I don't want we're sorry, we tried, we go again. We need to just keep going, man. Apologies, people. Let me see what you guys are saying. Big up everybody in the chat. Obviously, 12:20 live over on Twitch. Man United versus Leeds. Watch along. I'm going to be doing that. So come and watch the game with the guy. What are you lot saying, man? We should all be Kroenke out. But like Emre, Arteta has now become part of the issue. Because let's be real, experienced coach gets more out of these players. Yes, we have deep-rooted flaws. But yeah, facts, bro. Facts. We know some of these players are rubbish. We know some of them are not good enough. We know a lot of these things, but that's something I feel Arsenal fans have an inability to consider, that there can be multiple things wrong with the club. It can't, Kroenke is the underlying factor, as you said. But you've said, many people, it's just Kroenke, it's just Arteta, it's just the players, it's everything. The mentality comes down from the owner, the art, a lot of propaganda pieces, and I just think, Arteta thinks he's better than he is, and we've been reinforcing BS. The players, I don't know what they're on. It's a bad cocktail. And that's the problem. I think it's a relationship of convenience, because again, Arteta isn't gonna. No real pressure is put on Arteta. Oh, you wouldn't do Bewil doing things like this. Arteta ain't putting no pressure on the board. Any real manager, like you saw with Conte dipping out of Inter Milan, the minute you say there's no peas and what I want and what you lot are doing, there's an issue. Other managers are making a fuss. Arteta isn't. It's a relationship of convenience. He, arguably based off doing nothing. Yes, he's won the FA Cup. He's been given the manager role. He has a hands-on say in transfers and all of these things. That's something that scares me as well. Like one of my guys made the point. Is like, do you trust these men to spend the peas? I don't, because you've left Ben White exposed. We already know what's going to be said. You spent 50 million on him when it's not clear, evidently improves it. You've left him exposed. You can tell me about how good his defensive statistics are at Brighton and all of these things. But I look at Brighton, I see street smart individuals. I see Dan Burn. I see people of that. I see a good defensive system. We're just signing someone and say, do you work your magic? You're throwing Lokonga out there. Again, you're building your foundations with Granit Xhaka. I don't think Granit Xhaka was the worst player, but as you saw, the build-up play is very slow. When you've got Leno, when you've got Marie, when you've got Xhaka, when you over-rely on Kieran Tierney to create down that left-hand side, when you're very disjointed on the right-hand side, when you've not got, not any movement and stuff, and sadly, you've having to rely on these young players that are struggling physically, with the exception of the young player point, we're defeating ourselves way before you talk about Sheffield United. And again, he was very reactive, because for me yesterday, it became abundantly clear, 3 at the back quickly, half-time, 3 at the back. The Mbappé getting in that channel, slap Tierney left-sided centre-half, bringing a Tavares or even Saka there, and you kind of mitigate against that threat. I was genuinely thinking, what, back 3, you could even pull Chambers out of there. You could even went with Maitland-Niles on, because Chambers was struggling. I'm not going to sit here and be reactive, I think out of what we had available to us, Chambers and Marie going into this week, they were the options I was looking at. But like I always tell you, stop burying your head in the sand. Chambers, Maitland, I hope it could be Maitland, but Chambers, Maitland, Cedric, definitely Bellerin. They're not good enough for 38 games. You will get these 5 or 10 games and you lot will wet your pants. They're not good enough. It's just bare false images. It's not levels. Marie will be a hero again. You lot were ready to fight me when I said Arsenal fans are overrating him. He's got a small sample size. He struggles with pace. He struggles with build-up play. Yeah, he mashes work in the air, and he was decent in the air. But, I mean, come on now. Arguably, him and Leno were 2 pivotal reasons as to why we lost. They look nervous. Ben White struggling because of looking easy around. Chambers wasn't at it. Nothing in midfield. To call it a joke's being too kind. To call it a joke is being nice. A joke is funny to me. It is what it is, people. Make sure we're hitting the like button regardless, though. And as I said, the one thing about me, it's going to be a long season, but I'm privileged to have you lot and the supporters and all those sort of things. So, yeah, man, it's going to be a great season with you guys. There is, however, 351 of you, and there's only 108 likes. So, with that being said, Arsenal fans, if you want days to get better, do not hit that like button. And you do not hit that like button, it's not going to happen. Unexpected high bills are due. Xhaka and Arteta new contracts will be announced in the next fortnight if you do not hit that like button, man. Appreciate you lot, man. What are you lot saying, though, man? Let me break this up a bit. I've done enough, so I could talk it. I love humor, man. Man said, you know, when the vest top comes out, DG means business, bro. I'm going to work out after this live stream quickly before my next stream. So yeah, man. And to be fair with you, I didn't even want to put on an Arsenal shirt. I looked in my Arsenal shirt, Arsenal wardrobe, not even Arsenal, just my wardrobe. I don't even want to put it on, man. I don't even want to. I was gonna do a shirt review for you guys as well. I don't even care about the third shirt. I don't even like. Just stay in there, man. Let me just do my little Arsenal live stream, and that's it for the day, man. Like we might play Football Manager late. I'm gonna do my, I just want to enjoy football from a neutral point of view, as I did during the Euros, as I will probably do Man United Leeds. I'm not gonna enjoy it here, man. It's absolute Mazza lead. And it's for me, it's the fact of these things happen, L's happen, mistakes happen. I can accept that. It's what you want to do past that. You lot never want to cure your headache. It's like we all have friends or family members that cry about their situation, but they're doing the same things over and over again, whether it's in their financial life, personal life, aspirations for jobs, managing relations. They're crying about friends and family. It's like that example, crying about the same things, and you're telling them something and doing the same things again and again and crying that nothing's been changed. That's how I feel about this club. Because there's not, listen, if we was another club, I could say, all right, cool, there's question marks. I think we'll feel sorry for ourselves, might feel a bit down, then we're back to doing nonsense tomorrow. The L's doesn't leave a sickening feeling with these boys. It doesn't. Until these lot, forget Arsenal Football Club. These lot don't understand you're in a privileged position. You're a professional footballer. You're playing in the Premier League. Some of you are 26 plus, you're not getting any younger. Why do you not behave like every day is your last? Why do you not perform like, for me, I see it a couple of times. You should always go onto that field like someone says you'll never play football again. These lot always act like they're doing people a favor. And that's what sickens me. So happy I ain't bought no Chelsea ticket for the game to next week. I was going to go as well. 90 something quid to get ripped. Forget all of that, man. Forget all of that. The Ray and Neff will be in my system, and I'll quickly get sobered up when Lukaku rolls Ben White and does his thing. And I feel sorry for honest to God, I feel sorry for Ben White. I feel sorry for him. I really do feel sorry for Ben White, man. In fact, that's the timestamp I wanted to speak about. So yeah, man, let's crack on with that one as well. Bro, I feel sorry for Ben White. What I don't feel sorry for is a bad game. He has to hold his L. You were shit yesterday, You and Chambers were doing a madness, I think the wickedest thing with Ben White, initially, I think he started off well. He was winning the battles against Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney said, cool, all right, say nothing. You're playing chess, you're playing checkers, I'm playing chess. Say nothing. And I just feel Ben White's not invincible. They did it with Gabriel. You're seeing a man where not too many fans would have tried to buy Ben White for 50 mil. Let's have that one straight. But it's like, you're not looking at how inexperienced he really is. I'm not saying he shouldn't have played better, but it's like, yeah, he's been called up to England. Yeah, he's played for Leeds. He's played in the Football League. He's done well at Brighton in their systems. But none of them teams have been as naive defensively as Arsenal Football Club. He's only played one season in the Premier League. There's a lot of lessons he has to learn. There's obviously an element of when Brighton were playing, more experienced players were coaching him through it. He's struggling. Suddenly, when you're pulled next to Callum Chambers, who, I don't know if you're a centre-half, a centre-mid or right-back, you're a jack of all trades, masters of none. Marie, who's a ticking time bomb. Leno, who is just Mr. Eccentric. And, Leno clearly thinks he's better than he is and whatnot and thinks he's doing us a favour. It's a shambles. Add to that an inconsistent midfield. We don't press. Look how Brentford's strikers pressed and look how we pressed. Look how Brentford's centre-halves built from the back. Look how we built from the back. That's a system. This is not. Even their manager, better dressed than Arteta, showed him how to do the source thing better than him. It's all a fake image. You can look the part, you can do up the YouTube things. You need to be able to do this in the field. I saw a team with Brentford that were working on something in pre-season. I never saw nothing from you lot. And it's been happening. I can't be surprised you can see the goal to the level you lot conceded when we saw it in pre-season. But I feel sorry for Ben White because now he's exposed. Now, let's be real. I know fans can have an opinion, but he should be getting nothing but support. He should feel nothing but good. I've gone Euros in one season in the Prem. I've been called up to the Euros. I've got to move to Arsenal. I'm on this. Now he's going to be hung up to dry. Now, man, are going to say you're overrated. You're this, you're that. The confidence isn't allowed to be built. He should be allowed to be hella positive, moving clubs and things. I feel sorry for him. He was poor, but bro, the communication is not there. The nervousness from Leno spreads to Marie and infects the team. I can't see what we're doing from a tactical point of view. It's an absolute mazza. Like, it's an absolute mazza. Like, you know, if you didn't watch football, you would genuinely wouldn't believe Arsenal Football Club's a Premier League side. Some of the attitudes towards defending, the outlook on defending, to call it atrocious is a madness. And this is why I said, I've been saying it, you can't just sign a centre half and expect we're going to get better. We've been fucking signing centre halves how many years, and we're no better defensively. So what is going on there? It's not making sense. It's the system. You're exposing players. Granted, systems can even hide deficiencies in players. So you either don't know your players and what gets the best out of them, or you don't know what you need to do in the short, medium, and long term to get over the line. We're still wondering what's going on. The same way, and now I'm scared. I said it when, you know, I want the midfield improved. I want an 8, I want a 10, I need something. I don't have the confidence that if only signing someone's half the job, I don't have the confidence that you're going to sign someone and we're going to start creating chances, because I haven't seen nothing from a coaching perspective to breed creation of chances. We struggle to create, we struggle to shoot, we struggle to hit the target. Our build-up play is slow. Players don't trust each other, and the mental issues. Do you see how problematic this is? You shouldn't be saying all of this. I shouldn't be saying this after the first 90 minutes. We lost the game, granted, but there's 37 more games. I should have optimism. Why have I not? Because we've seen this. And I think Arteta is going to learn a lot of harsh lessons. You're always waffling about you need the fans and things. The fans will always support the club, but they're not going to condone nonsense. You lot play like this. The Emirates isn't a loud stadium, but it's going to be loud. And you know, it shouldn't be like this at the start of the season. It should not. You know, we want the season to end already, but I feel sorry for Ben White, just like I felt sorry for Gabriel, just like I now feel sorry for Smith Rowe, just like I feel sorry for any creative player that signs for this club. One man can't change it. You need the emphasis on the play, on the manager. And the manager has once again betted on players that aren't good enough. And what I mean by that is, of course, he needs Stan and Josh to pull their fingers out. But Chambers is not playing right back and not being our right back if you bang home that something needs to happen. Xhaka's not there if you don't need to bang on about that. And there's several things. Leno, let the man fuck off if he wants to leave. He's not good enough to be whoring ourselves out for him. I'm sorry. Leno has never been that good. He's been a good shot stopper. There was a time where he was one of the best players in the team. Bro, the man can't save. You know, his shot stopping is overrated. He's always getting beaten at his near post. His distribution is absolutely atrocious. He's got a false sense of security. He's extremely arrogant. Leno is terrible. You know, if you fix up the rest of the team, you can move forward with Leno. But it's just this false vacuum that we live in. We make players feel too important. And I genuinely think a lot of these players think they're better than what they are. They lack humbleness. They lack humbleness in earning the right to play, in wanting to be better than your man, in assuming that, yeah, we can, you know, half do things. We don't have to defend properly. We'll somehow get there. Cheating yourselves. One day, a lot of you footballers that are in this football club, you're going to look back and think, yo, I could have given more there. You are. And I know I don't know for them, but I know I always try to try my hardest in everything I do, because the feeling of regret is sickening. You know, your conscience, anyone that has a real conscience that, you know, isn't going to, you know, tell you the right things, anyone that lacks honesty, everybody knows conscience and regret, they're two very difficult things to deal with, especially when you know in your heart you ain't applied yourself. As long as you lot can look in the mirror, have your shower, go to bed with a clear conscience, knowing you've applied yourself, I can't ask you for nothing more. But I know not too many of you can say that. There's no way in hell half of that squad can't say that. Only a couple of them young players and literally a couple of the experienced players can say that. Not too many names can say that. And that's the problem. You know, that is the problem. There's no pressure, that healthy sort of pressure. They don't put pressure on themselves. They don't demand nothing of themselves. They don't demand excellence in themselves. They don't want to leave a legacy for themselves. You get the vibe that people are not footballers first and foremost. And I'm not the guy who sits here and goes, oh, they're not focused on ball. You always get the vibe that it feels like they're on the Saturday night show or something. Like, this is just some obligation. We're influencers, but we kick ball here and there. Like, if I wanted that, fucking get Harry Pinero and Chunks and Young Philly and all them guys to play for our team. We don't need none of DG as well. After the goals I'm scoring, I must come back a spot on Soccer Aid or something as well. But it's absolute mazza, man. I don't want to hear sorries though, man. One love to everybody locked in, close to 500 people. Can we please make sure we're hitting the like button and we're subscribing, not only on YouTube, but also on Twitch, as I will be on at 20 past. Yeah, 20. No, did I say 20 past? Yeah, I believe 20 past 12. So you think I'll be on 10 minutes before kickoff? I got to go Sainsbury's, man. Or I was going to be half an hour, but Ain't no food in my fridge, man. So yeah, bro. Bro, Willock will do better. Will sick out at Newcastle because you say what you want about Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce has a better understanding of how to use him, or even if it's not that, he has a better understanding of how Joe Willock can tie into my system at Newcastle than Arteta ever had, you know, like he has now. He doesn't know how to get the best out of Aubameyang. He don't know how to get the best out of Laka. He don't know how to get the best out of the young players. He doesn't know how to address a position he played in midfield. He doesn't know what he's doing in a collective defensive unit. I do not care for any improvements defensively. I hear it. But at the end of the day, when times are tough, do we look like a better team defensively? It's the attitudes, it's the mentality. You know, again, as much as I get at the manager, the players make me sick. They genuinely make me sick. I don't want to see a lot of you lot's faces. This is why I don't even want to play Football Manager, because half you're going to get sacked. It's an absolute joke, man. It's an absolute joke, man. Man said he moved from Arsenal to City. No matter how bad things get, unless you're going abroad like me at PSG, we don't advocate moving from club to club. You're getting blocked because that's some sissy boy thing. I don't know about that. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Should we see exactly what Mikel Arteta has had to say, people? Keep it going, people. I've just been offering my own thoughts. So yeah, man, let's actually see what exactly Mikel Arteta has had to say. I've purposely not read it because I wanted to see it with you guys. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. We're at 190. There's still 500 of you locked in. We can end this live stream with 300. Moving forward though, folks, man. I say moving forward. Well, what are we winning? And another thing, winning through harmony. Where's the harmony? You know, because these lot don't fight for each other. I'd hate to. I say it all the time. With some of these Arsenal players, imagine going out on a night out or being in certain problems, and you're with them. You wouldn't want to be with them. You're gonna end up dead, or something's gonna happen to you. They're not backing you. Certain man are looking away. Certain man are running. You know, certain man clock the whole pattern and bust out before it happened. You would hate to be in a nightclub or on a night out and things get a bit political with these lot, really and truly. But yeah, let's see what Mikel Arteta has said. He was asked a variety of questions on our performance tonight. Sorry, let me finish my coffee before this. Oh, that is strong. Not as strong as what I had to take to the chest to lose to stomach losing yesterday, man. And it makes it worse when my friends of all the other rival clubs are just sitting there and attacking me, man. I got Spurs. Bro, I was with my Spurs friends last night. And I was with him before, and he keeps calling Arsenal a joke. And he texts me, he's like, Arsenal are a joke. You man are a mid-table club. I'm like, hang on, you're a Spurs fan, you know. But I'm mad sour. Like he's not wrong. I'm just saying to remember you're a Spurs fan, you know. This is where we're at. But on our performance, he said, well, we are very disappointed to start the way we did this season, are we? Because this is how preseason started. We had really high hopes, and we didn't get the result that we wanted or the performance that we wanted. There's no substitutes for the performance, because this is the problem. Arsenal haven't lost too many times where we've sat there and gone, all right, cool, them man were better than us. They were at it. What can you say? I am longing for that, because as long as you lose to the better team, what could you say? You know, if you play if you play PSG and Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, they turn you over a new one and they show why they're talented footballers. What can you say? There's a levels thing. But suddenly, if you're playing them and you're scoring own goals or you're handing possession to them, that's where I have an issue, because you're defeating yourself. And like we saw all last season, way before we talk about how good Brentford's system is, how good the press was, Ivan Toney and Babu, their defense, you know, Ethan Pinnock, you know, Raya didn't have much to do but couple saves, their man management, their game management, you know, the fans, way before you applaud Brentford and everything else. We're looking in-house, as you should always be self-reflecting, but we're sitting here, defenders collectively, individually, this guy's doing that guy's doing the other, Arteta this, Arteta that, recruitment this, recruitment that. These are the things that we were doing last year. These are the things that we're doing again. And these are the things that are going to stay with us as long as we don't address these things. You know, transfers are only part of the problem. You know, you have to be able to sign these players and get the best. Have you seen anything from a sporting perspective to suggest we sign Odegaard or Aouar or both of them? We're going to start creating chances. Have you not seen that? It's a byproduct. If Pep Guardiola had no ability in relation to going forward, he could sign all of these players he wants. You wouldn't see Ederson doing the madness, setting up goals and all the movement and things. If he never had the ability, he could sign all the guys he wants. You know, if you buy a hammer, you need to know how you're going to use it. Now, you need to know what you're doing with it. You can't just sign something. You can't just buy something and think it's going to work. You buy a piece of chicken. I know some of you are scatty and you'll just slap it in you won't wash it and slap it in the oven and them things, but you need to know what you're gonna do with it. You know, you buy a sponge, you need to know how you're gonna clean a plate. It don't make sense, you know. Knowing us, we're buying a sponge that's meant for a plate and we're trying to wash our skin with it. And I'm wondering why a madness is happening. It's absolutely crazy. We're using fairy liquid as links. Well, where decision making is terrible here. But we should be disappointed. There's no substitute for the performance because you didn't match Brentford's energy. They had every reason to be optimistic. You had every reason to be optimistic. You lot should have been of the thinking, yeah, you know what? The fans have been on us. They don't believe in us. Let's make them believe. Because let's have it right. That's what we need this season. Fans can't give you lot any more motivation. You lot need to gas the fans. I would have thought, you know what? It's a new season. We want to show that we're really behind Arteta. We want to get Arsenal back in Europe. I want to stop being mentioned among failure. I want to prove certain Arsenal fans wrong. You know, I want to do this and that. There's no substitute for the performance. As you know, the Premier League, as much as it's about tactics, it's about energy. You know, look at Leeds. Listen, we can talk about Bielsa, the players, the system, but the energy, they're up for it. They're on it. They don't care who you are. You can't substitute that. Either you're not built for this thing or you don't have it in you. If you ain't got it in you, please hand in your P45. Keep it moving from London Coley. I know this is a sweet gig. You don't have to really try. You're getting paid hella peas. But please, me as a fan, I can't take it anymore. So it should be disappointing. On whether we conceded soft goals, bro, we not, bro, softer than soft goals, man. Softer than soft. You know, terrible. On the serious note, though, Aubameyang and Lacazette, we hope that they're not having any issues with fitness. And I think there's something the club's not telling us personally, because you've got Aubameyang, Lacazette, and you've now got Runnison through illness. Now, personally, my guess is we're dealing with an outbreak of corona, but I don't know that. I'm not fear-mongering. That's just me as a fan, and I hope that isn't the case. He said, and another thing that needs to change is the way he does things, because he's, you know, he could have worded this a bit better. But on relation to them players, he said, I don't know, but I certainly don't want to use any excuses. We had a team that we put out that's good enough to play the way that we wanted to play and capable of achieving the result. That's facts, but you haven't answered the question in relation to Aubameyang and Lacazette. If you can't specifically answer it, just give the club some more guidance, because yesterday they were both linked with moves away. They're not involved. Now, again, I don't think they're going to leave, but you get it, like just this further uncertainty. And again, for Arteta, the way you come across in the media needs to change. On what he would say to the fans, barely for some Hennessy or rare enough. Anyways, first of all, I want to thank them because the support that they've given us to the team, they've given to the team, all the traveling fans that were here. And after that, apologize for the result. Big up the Arsenal fans, you know, the ones that were in the ground, the ones that, you know, were watching it via my watch along, the ones that were watching it on streams, you know, international fans waking up at stupid o'clock, you know, a couple people were probably working, risking their jobs, you know, security guards all got the game on their phone and that. Bro, you lot don't. If you lot don't match the fan support, as much as I say I'm done, I don't care. I'm here chatting shit on YouTube about Arsenal all the time, and you lot are here supporting the thing and whatnot. What I'm appreciative for. You lot don't match our energy. You lot don't want it enough. You lot don't want Arsenal to return to how they're supposed to be as much as us. You lot are pretenders. You only want it when the sun is shining, when the team is sitting back against us, when, you know, there's no real pressure. When it's time to stand up to be kind, only couple man are. Again, first game of the season, something we spoke about in pre-season, what we don't want to see. We don't want to have to keep looking at the young guys. Yesterday, who played the best? Saka did all right off the bench. Smith Rowe hardly pulled up any trees, but he tried. Tavares off the bench tried. Lokonga weren't amazing. He's about more than other people. Balogun didn't really do anything, but he's a young guy. At least you can console yourself with the fact that him and Martinelli, there's lessons for them to learn. The experienced ones, Marie, you've been around the block. What's going on there? This is what I mean. You know, I'm not going to be reactionary about Marie, but, you know, have we got too much bang for our buck there? I believe in Ben White. You know, he didn't pick his price tag, but suddenly you spent 50 million on a man. It doesn't evidently look like he improves our team. There's not really a system. You can see how man are getting shortchanged. You've doubled down on Xhaka. Now, I don't think you can really blame Xhaka apart from when he should have clipped in about Martinelli yesterday. But you want the midfield to run through him, right? Why is it running through him? What does he bring to the table? What does that midfield say? Midfield was a big issue. Even with, you know, Gabriel, Partey, Aubameyang, and all Lacazette. Because if everybody's fit, let's have it right. Partey, Gabriel, probably going to see Aubameyang off the left and Lacazette off through the middle. That would have made our case stronger. That would have given us a bit more. But let's be real, them and they have been involved in similar performances like this. So, and I just feel at Arsenal, we do this thing where it's always the player that's not involved that is the guy, like that happened with Xhaka last year. And I hear it, it's not wrong, but you get where I'm going with that, people. So yeah, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Where are we at in terms of there we need to be? Nope, there it is. Make sure you're supporting the thing on Twitch, folks. One love. But yeah, back to what Mikel Arteta has said. Make sure you're here at a 12:20. Sorry, people. So yeah, that's what he's saying to the fans. First of all, yeah, well, he said it already. We have 2 big games coming up, and we need a different performance to get a different result, bro. You don't need to apply yourselves, because Chelsea will beat you, not because Chelsea will show their quality in other games. Chelsea won't beat you because Thomas Tuchel's amazing, which he is. They Havertz, this Lukaku, that. Chelsea are going to beat us because you lot are going to bottle it. Mentally, you lot are going to, you psych yourselves out. People, you lot, if I'm being right, I probably would poo my pants at the thought of Lukaku, especially with my teammates. Them man, they're out of it, you know. You lot are going to have nightmares all week. Lukaku should think, yo, I'm getting a brace, you know. I'm going to debut from heaven. It's long for us. It really is. And if the performance like that creates a sense of urgency in the transfer market, there should be a sense of urgency already. My focus is on the players that we have to make them play as well as possible and get the best out of the team, finding the way to win football matches, and certainly the next one. So I think Mikel Arteta is trolling me personally with that, because this is your focus. Who evidently looks better? Who evidently looks better in this team since the day you took over to now? Who evidently looks a better player? Who can you say Arteta's really improved? What players signify Arteta's Arsenal? Because when you think of Wenger, you think of the Invincibles. Even during the Emirates era, you think of Rosicky, Santi Cazorla, you know, Cesc Fabregas, bear these sort of things, you know. When you think of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, what do you think of? I just see Kieran Tierney in the left-hand channel and Aubameyang scoring in the FA Cup. Or sitting back and you know, Smith Rowe scoring a scruff shot at Stamford Bridge, or the Buki William goal, or whatever. Was it an own goal or whatever at Old Trafford? That's your team. You don't get the best out of them. You don't understand your players, or you wouldn't keep it as poor as Marie is. You wouldn't expose Marie into wide areas because he's slow. You wouldn't do half of these things. You would have a better defensive system. You would have creativity to help Smith Rowe in that. You know, people can cry about Odegaard signing, but Odegaard and Smith Rowe are going to play, and we're still going to lack with creativity. It can't just be on 2 players. Look at City. Their first attacker is Edison. I'm not saying we need to do that, but it's that ethos. We should be able to create a goal all over the pitch. There should always be 2 options for a man in possession, especially a team that aspires to get back to how we used to play. Problematic, though. So that is your job, and there should be question marks on if Friday's performance creates any urgency in the market. We are very clear of what we wanted to do, what our strengths are, where we can improve. I don't think today's performance shows any different to what we've already seen. That's fair. You have. On what's being done to address Arsenal's play in the final third, I don't think that tonight's game is one to analyse overly given the circumstances we had on the day. Yeah, it is. Of course, you've had to throw the young Balogun in there. But yeah, it is. Because you could put our first team sheet out and it's terrible playing out from the back, people. It's absolutely terrible. Like, you look at it, you know, I was going to save this, bro. Our playing out from the back is shit. You've got Balogun playing against a back 3, you know, a young man against physical powerhouses, Pinnock and all them man there. He's losing out in that battle. It's 3 against 1. He's dropping deep. Smith Rowe, really, a good team is able to play and knock it about so that he can be in the final third. Suddenly, we're doing F4 on the ball. So what would a man who's good in possession do? You're dropping, you know. Xhaka should probably be the one receiving it, but you've got Lokonga. You've got Marie, who at times should be turning out with the ball and playing the likes of Tierney down the channel. Instead, he's coming inside more time, you know, and we're knocking it backwards. Chambers is there. Pepe's on the halfway line. We're defeating ourselves way before the opponent. Naturally, if we're going against a back 3 and they're pressing us, you know, we're not going to do anything. To the point, the ball is just going long. And again, we're not going to win that. It's a numbers game. There's 3 against 1. Balogun's a young man. It's going to go straight back to them. Lord help us if Brentford were a bit better going forward. They could have cut us open and really destroyed us. You know, we're very easy to read. We're left-handed FC. We're left-hand side FC. Any half decent team clocks it. We're just trying to play Tierney. And half the time, the ball's going into the box. Nobody's fucking attacking it. Like, I can't lie. No one was trying to score. These are the issues. We're psyching ourselves out of games way before we talk about the opposition. Don't get me started on the goals we're conceding. Again, similar to Millwall, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we're struggling to play out from the back. You know, we're struggling to clear our lines. It's actually initially a long ball forward from Raya, obviously not to scale, but you remember Chambers did his foolishness. The ball fell here in the build up to just before the goal. Actually, Ben White's not looking over his shoulder, and somebody made a run off him. That's what actually started off in the build up. To skip forward, remember the ball came out, it didn't get towards whatever man. And then Chambers, you're a defender, bro. You've got a right footer on the left-hand side. There's only one option. He's gonna tuck in and shoot. You have to throw yourself across that. You cannot allow that. Other players are sleeping, and then he shoots. Obviously, not to scale. Leno, for me, could do better at his near post. I cannot lie. That's always been an issue. This is the problem. And again, you know, I don't even want to do this tactical thing over these games because you could see it. You saw, you know, right? You saw throughout the whole game, you knew what they were doing. Ethan Pinnock was on his Rory Delap. He probably watched Rory Delap compilation vids. He's throwing long balls all the time. We're doing this zonal marking thing, and you can see a Brentford forward or attacking player on Leno. I don't care if it's man marking or zonal. Someone needs to take him off it. Before this happened, this goal, that was actually a common theme. It was a common theme of what was happening, people. It's a long throw. Leno's occupied. Whether he's fouled or not, I don't care because it shouldn't happen. You know, Ben White, I don't know how he's missed the header. It's quite reactive defending. Eventually, they've scored. It's 2 terrible goals to concede. The less said about it, the better, people. So I'm not too sure on any of this. This is absolutely shocking. It's a shambles, people. Absolute shocking and shambles, man. Arteta says sorry / tactical review. Again, there's nothing to review from a tactical point of view. Allegedly, Arteta issued a sorry. Let me scroll the way down and find this man's apology, people, because I never saw nothing that said anything in about apology. Well, first of all, thank you because of the support they are giving to the team, the traveling fans that were here. After that, I apologize for the result, and we know we have to improve. We have 2 big games coming up right now, and we need a different approach to get a different result. And this is the thing, you lot might beat Chelsea or beat City or get a decent point, and you lot will still think we've turned the corner. You haven't. There's no balance. You're never as bad as you think you are, no matter how bad the defeat is. You're never as good as you think you are, no matter what you achieve. I'm not going to say these players aren't humble, but I think there's an unhealthy amount of arrogance. You lot are not arrogant when I need you to be arrogant. You're not brave when I need you to be brave. There's an unhealthy amount of arrogance. You cut corners. And anything in life, if you want to achieve a goal, you can't cut corners. Very disrespectful outlook for me in how we look towards defending. We cheat ourselves and make cheap mistakes. You can't do this. You can look good on Instagram. They can get the clips on YouTube and stuff, but you cannot fool people all the time. And that's the beautiful thing about football. When the times are tough, you see who's really on this thing, and not too many of them are. Like I said, I wouldn't want to be on a night out with these guys, people. It's absolute atrocious. Big up everybody locked in. We've got 837 people. I'm very appreciative of that. 294 likes. Like I said, there's 800 odd people. Why are we not at least 400 likes, people? You have not hit that like button. Arsenal's not making signings. These things are continuing. For you rival fans, Arsenal will make a comeback. Unexpected high bills for everyone who has not hit that like button, folks. Boiler breaking, all of those sort of things. I'm in a bad mood. I hope you lot are in a bad mood as well. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, and also make sure you're subscribed on Twitch, because shortly after this is Manchester United against Leeds. AFTV backed Arteta from last season. The way they defended the guys compared to how Robbie and his guys did their best to get Arteta sacked was very telling. Listen, I don't know for what gone for it, them and Wenger and things. I don't think it's wrong to back Arteta or criticize Arteta, you know. But what I do think is calling a spade is spade. When someone needs to face the music, they need to face it. And for me, it's like my man said here, bro. Letting the ball bounce in your box from a throw is schoolboy settings, bro. You said it. I can't add anything. It's schoolboy, and this is the thing. As much as I criticize Arteta, and it's fundamentally him, you've got the double whammy. Is that you look at some of these players, and I'm like, come on now, man. Like, are you dedicated to your profession or not? Like, if I'm a right back and I'm not good in the final third, or I'm not good 1v1, or I'm not good defensively, I'm not going to improve that. If you're a striker and you can't score goals, are you not going to want to fix that? I'm seeing defenders that they don't really love defending. Like, you don't love it. I know defenders of today, they love to fancy themselves. They want a ball play. They want the slick hair. They want the hairstyles and that. But them and they don't love defending. Like, they don't love it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But like you said, schoolboy settings. You know, and it's the sequence of play as well. It's like we're killed with one long ball. I see someone blaming Lokonga for one of the goals. I mean, he has lost the ball, but it's way before Chambers and them man doing their nonsense and they switched off at a goal. Big up yourself, LJ. But I see some of your comments. It does scream that you have an agenda on certain man. But I'm sick of I'm just sick of everything apart from just learn. You know, the best apology is changed behavior. You know, if I hurt your feelings, you know, if we're in a relationship like some of you are and your baby mothers are cheating and you know, your baby mother cheats and she tells you, I'm going to stop and she does it again, she's not learning. The best apology is you don't do that again. It's absolutely, oh man. Brother. But you know, the beautiful thing is, you know, the highs and lows of the season, I'll be here with you guys, man. And I appreciate you lot locked in, man. That's why one reason I'm cool, man. I got you lot, man. It's a DG Nation FC thing, man. We're just focused on growing the brand, man. We ain't got time for nothing else, man. EG, bro, I'm so scared we are washed and it's only been one game. It's not only one game, though. It's only one game of this system, you know. It's only one game of the season, sorry, but bro, we've been thinking this last year. That's why we're so disgruntled, because all we wanted to see was a smidget to say, all right, cool, we're doing the same nonsense, but at least you lot are improving a bit more. There's this, there's that. There's nothing really. We're not, there's nothing to cling on to, really. And we knew when the manager says, oh, pre-season's a massive one, we need it. We see the fixture list. We see the fact that we're 8th. We haven't got time for this. We have not got time for this. So you're right, man. And I hope to be wrong. Like, you know, things can change in football. We could be the happiest fan base in the moon if we beat Chelsea. And obviously, shout out my guy Matisse. I'll be trolling him and whatnot. But that's all Arsenal is now. We win a big game, we troll people. And at the same time, it don't mean anything. You could say you beat Chelsea, the champions of Europe. Where are they? You could say you got 4 points off United. Where were they? You know? Do you get? You could say you did a thing against Leicester, a little get back for when they beat us. Where were they? It don't make sense. It's scary, man. Crazy. As a Villa fan, I rate Bellerin. I don't think you're a fan of football then. And people think Chambers is better than Bellerin. Chambers is better than Bellerin. Let's have it right. Chambers was terrible yesterday, but he's done his thing. He done his thing way more than Bellerin. The problem is they're just all bad bunches. You're gonna get 5 or so games they look shit, 5 or so games they look good. None of these guys are the answers. None of these guys are the answers at all, man. Crazy, man. I don't know why you don't go on AFTV interviews or feature on their podcast. Well, tell Robbie, shout me in it. Simple as that. Boy, man. Vela was more talented than Martinelli. Lies. But I don't know where you're going with that. You overrate them, fam. Smash the likes, like my guy Delaney has said. Arteta, king of waffle, bro. Just speaking in riddles and things like that, man. Like, call a spade a spade. Brother, I was so excited to watch Arsenal on a night shift, and my whole night was ruined by Arsenal. As soon as I see Xhaka on captain, my hope is just gone, brother. You know, the wickedest thing with Xhaka being the captain is I understand it, bro, and it says everything about us. You know, for me, it don't look good. The man wanted to leave. It feels like we're begging Xhaka to leave. It's like a good footballer in a shit Sunday league club, and you know the club just doing everything for him to stay. It's like you've given him a new deal, you've made him captain, but I get it, because who else is going to captain it if it's not Tierney? No one else is really with it. You know, man, look at Marie and look at Leno. You know, you look at a couple more of the more experienced man, Chambers and these sort of guys. Well, they're not on it. You're not going to give it to them. It's a mazza. Absolutely madness. I don't know what we do in training, man. I don't know what we do in training. And United fan here, keep your heads up, stay composed, and support what you have and are right now. This is it. You gotta accept what you are and what it is, but it's just frustrating, man. Absolute madness, man. Smith Rowe and Tierney and Saka, best players last night for Arsenal. The rest was shocking. Arteta's apology is null and void. In other words, the apology is useless. How many apologies will Arteta issue this season? Can you imagine day starts with apology. This sheer lack of seriousness, boy. Not a surprise that the same old players are there. Bro, I will trust a process if you give me something to consider. This doesn't look like a process, bro. This is more like a social experiment to see where a football club can push their fans. You just gotta accept it. Not that you gotta accept it, and it's still jarring me, but it's like you can't you just got, I don't know, man. This is crazy, man. To be open to selling Aubameyang, where the hell are they gonna buy him? Who is gonna buy Aubameyang and give him them wages? It's no myth. Like, yesterday was comical. Nothing has changed. Our keeper can't catch a ball, and now man are walking through our defense, gripping up the keeper like my youth. Big up yourself, footy chats as well. I feel bad. I'm feeling bad for you, deluded. Arteta tax is mad heavy. Buy cheap, buy twice, bro. H, you buy twice, bro. You buy twice. It was summertime. Well, it is summer. If you buy one of them cheap fans, you know it might blow. You know it might keep you cool, but you know if it drops on the floor, you know, or just a little bit of wear and tear, it's gonna break. You're gonna buy 2-3 fans. Where if you spend a little decent change on a fan that's built decent with some decent parts, you know it's gonna last. When you buy sales stuff, you're gonna buy over and over and over again, and especially when you're doing that and you've got no clear emphasis. We're going to keep signing strikers and attacking players and wondering why there's no creativity, because Arteta don't want to go forward. He don't want to go forward. That's why you might as well just say, you know what, 3 at the back. Just do that, man. You know what? Just for the, at least I would have said in the halftime against Brentford, definitely Chelsea and City. You know what? Damage limitation, 3 at the back. I'd rather lose 1 or 2-0 than 5-6. It is where it is, innit? Just get through it. Stop the negativity. Arsenal will improve. I mean, I don't think I'm being negative at all. I'm just commenting on what I see. If you want to bury your head in the sand, do what you want. I do hope Arsenal improve. We do want Arsenal to improve, you know. If you wanna do the kumbaya thing, you need to go on some other channels, because if there was reasons to be positive after the game, I'd be here waxing lyrical. Love for the super chat. Smith Rowe reminds me of Heleb and Arshavin. Do you think he has a higher ceiling? I don't know. It's down to him. I do think he's a baller. I think he's a good player. Just do his thing, man. Just do his thing. I wouldn't say he reminds me of either player directly, though, but I see where you're coming from. Love for the super chat, man. I don't think Odegaard is our creativity solution. I think I wouldn't say he could be, but he could help us. Arteta has to be the solution. There has to be a mandate to go forward. To create, you need movement and all of these sort of things, bro. It's not just about that. You're not being negative. You're stating on what you're seeing, bro. I always thank you, Solomon, but I always say, if it's sunny outside, I'm not going to tell you, look, it's raining. If I see rain, I'm not going to say, get your shorts. It's sunny. I can only talk about, and I want to be wrong. I've lost faith in Arteta. I want to be wrong. I want to sit here and say, yo, first game of the season, how funny was that? Or Marie, this and that. I want to be wrong about you lot. Who doesn't? I don't get no pleasure of saying I told you so. I want Arsenal to get Europe. I don't want to be here vexed. I want to be harassing my friends. Look at your club. Look at this club. I want to be wrong. But the thing is, there's too much agendas, bro. There's too much kumbaya. There's too much ridiculously negative, too much ridiculously positive. You know, too many people live in extremes. They're saying one thing today, 24 hours is flipped on its head. It's jarring, man. It's very jarring. Please stop spamming, my guy. DG, what do you think of Ivan Toney and how come no big club has come for him? I think it's because he needs to prove it in the Premier League. Now, if he carries on how he picked up yesterday, he'll have no problems. Obviously, he needs to get goals, but I think he's got it in him to, regardless of what happens in Brentford, to play Premier League, because he's obviously got it. He can press, he can, you know, the general play, he can mix it up. He needs to prove he can score goals. But for me, Ivan Toney's got the mentality. And, you know, if Brentford don't stay up, he's going to get a move, man. Boy, man. Oh man, at least I could say I enjoy this with you guys, man. Because apart from that, there's nothing else to really be positive about, if you're completely honest. But we move in it, like we move, man. We move. Please make sure we're hitting that like button, people. We're at 421. Thank you very much for hitting that like button. There's 900 odd of you. Can we now move towards 500? Shame on you if you're not hitting that like button, and if you have not subscribed to my Twitch, because again, Man United leads business. How can any fan trust the process when you don't even know the style of play? I think we will get clapped 6-0 by City or Chelsea. God, no, please. Arteta is hopeless and don't trust the players. The man don't even have a great target for the season, which means he don't get European football. He knows in his heart, he knows he needs to get Europe. I don't think the club, you know, I don't think the club will put pressure on him, but it is what it is. No, you don't have to accept what we are, fans. Let's get games called off. Bobley Swagger, I hear you, but I think that's an emotional reply. You're not going to get games locked off, my guy. And what does that solve? Because the games are going to have to be played again and again, man. All I heard is be patient. Kroenke is a problem, but Arteta is working for the problem and has no clue. He doesn't have the knowledge, and I believe the players don't. It's a terrible cocktail, man. Man said, I just need Palace to beat Chelsea, then my weekend's back on track. We hope Patrick Vieira can do that, but he's gonna get pumped, man. Xhaka is just the best of the worst. QWERTY, facts. Just the best of a bad bunch, man. And at least with Xhaka, I think, like you said, he's the bad bunch, but it's like he'll want the ball and do nonsense. Couple man just don't even want it, man. This is why, for me, let's just go free at the back, man. Just forget it now. Forget any plans I had, just free at the back. Just try and weather the storm and damage limitation. Do what you can in the transfer market, and we take it where it comes, man. Play the young. You know what? Just play the young players. At least they'll get better, you know, because, again, Tavares played 2 minutes, and fans already saying play him right back and stuff, and it's not like we learn our mistakes. Fans don't learn mistakes either, man. Issues, man. Issues upon issues upon issues upon issues, man. I hear you, lot, Barry, and I hear you with questioning the manager. I'm not saying this to say Arteta needs to stay, but then the club are not going to bring in them experienced pair of hands. And if they do, it's not going to end well because the experienced man is going to say, F this. I ain't got time for this. I'm telling you, I need this. You're telling me you got to swap some Mars bars and some marbles and try and get a player. I ain't got time for that. If I ask you for a midfielder, go and get it. And I genuinely feel you, man, are looking at this mentality and saying, what's the point? I think if you ask someone like Conte, he would pick up the phone to Arsenal because of what we've been. But when you get down to the nuts and bolts, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, what funds are available, man, are not on it. It's not worth risking your reputation for. And I don't think the club, first game of the season, are going to sack Arteta, knowing that they have to give him the sell on. You know, there's still question marks over the transfer market. And if you sack him now, who's signing for the club? Not saying that the people won't. You know, you're going to have to pay off his coach and stuff. You're going to have to bring in people, go around the same lap. Will the club do that now? I'm not sure, man. Big up Thierry Henry. Hey, man, we might need you up front or you might need to take the role. Broski, good to see you. But, bro, this Arteta guy has either got touched in the head differently or this Stan guy has got touched because we're going down like Leeds, man. No cap. Boy. Chambers is another Jenkinson. Harsh because he's better than Jenkinson ever will be. But, boy. Bro, Bellerin's not going to play for Villa. Is he better than Matty Cash? Bro, it's a myth, man. DG, what do you think is the priority now for Arsenal to improve? Ellie, I said it before and I say it again. We can talk about the tactical stuff, but as you saw yesterday, mentality, bro. Mentality. Man, you got to look at it, yeah. For me, anyways, nobody should be able to take 3 points. If someone tried to come in your house, you're not just going to hand over your stuff, are you? You're going to put up a fight. That's how we should look at 3 points. We're just handing it over. We're just being silly. You know, like I said, Brentford didn't have to sweat. I'll be surprised if any Brentford kit is dirty and has any grass stains. They could wear that again. They didn't have to sweat. It's atrocious. Big up yourself for becoming a subscriber. I really appreciate that. As a rival fan, I can sympathize with you, mate. It's not just that your team lost, it's the way they lost. There you have it, bro. It's the manner we lost. It's what we did. It's the performance. Fans need solutions. I'm from Hong Kong. Agree with you. Tim Law, appreciative. The problem is not the manager. Arsenal just don't have the players. Even if Zidane, the max Arsenal is getting his 6th, 8th. No, I disagree. The problem is many things because the manager, when we get past the fact that Kroenke needs to go and all of these issues, you know, and you look at the gaffer, he's not getting the best out of his side. If you're, you know, we should be looking at Arteta that he feels like a man who's helpless. We should be looking at this system and saying he's getting the best out of defense. He's getting the best out of attack. Clearly, he needs better players where he still needs that. But we're sitting there and saying, do we trust you and Edu to spend the money? Do we trust you to get the best out of players? Do you really understand your own players? Do you understand how players complement each other? Because we're still going to see the same struggles on the right back and right wing. We're still over-reliant on the left-hand side. Bearing in mind, he was a midfielder. There's still nothing in midfield. You know, we're ninth for creations and for goals, and our creation of chances, our shots on target, all our play in the final third is very stagnant. It doesn't get anywhere. Do you have faith that he'll sign even if he gets the players he wants? So there's multiple problems. You can't just say that. I was gonna give man 10 games. It's free now, bro. Everybody's on borrowed time. You need to do more therapy with Curtis, bro. Shout out Curtis, man. Curtis Kane rolls are probably falling out now because of this tick now, man. Why is Cedric not playing? I don't know, because 1 minute we hear Cedric's the best in the final third at this football club and all of these things, then he's not involved. There's about 5 people who play right back who is number 1. Typical Arsenal fan fashion. It's the utter inflexibility of his system that is the issue. Stop trying to make Suzuki's work like Ferraris. Make the best of what you have. Disbelief, I can't believe it. You know, facts, broski. Facts. Do you think this international break will hurt you? Same with AFCON. Well, I don't really know. A lot of people are saying AFCON's been deferred. I'm not sure. Obviously, if we lose players, we're at a problem. Bro, maybe the international break's the best thing we need because it'd be just more time away from Arsenal. But I'd say it'll probably be the welcome relief, because if we go into that with a terrible points tally from the first 3 or so games, you can see how that acts as a relief. Absolute madman. The problem lies with Arteta. We have good players that are wasted under his management, in my opinion. We have to be humble and set up the team accordingly. 3 at the back, counter-attack football, nick a goal. That's our level right now. Appreciate the super chat, Darren. And I agree with you. I do think you can be on the front foot in the back 3, but I agree with you in that we need to be humble sometimes and recognize where we are. Just you know what? Just damage limitation stuff, man. If we're not gonna do this real Arsenal thing and try and play ball, you might, like you said, you might as well just set up decent. Like, at least that's the thing with Arteta. You know what? You're at that point where just do what you do in the big games against the smaller teams. At least I can criticize and say I can criticize your system. I don't see something now. I don't see anything. Fantasy link. 1 sec. I swear I gave that to you lot yesterday, and you're probably gonna be behind, bro, because you're technically gonna miss the first game week. But 1 sec, I'll get that for you. Sorry, bro. You gotta give me a sec. Actually, try to find that. Here it is. Fantasy link, man. FPL. And shout out to whoever username is Control Alt Delete. Sorry, that's the best username play on words I've seen, man. Are Arsenal in danger of becoming a 6th to 8th club, bro? We're already there. You can further slip down it. No, Arteta has disappointed us. No chance to beat Chelsea if we play the game like that. Facts, you'll be eaten, man. What do you think of us getting Thierry Henry back as manager? Listen, big up Henry, but he's not on nothing, man. I mean, I'd back Henry because he's a former player. At least there's a bit of assurances there, but I ain't seen something there, man. Please stop spamming, broski. Calm down. Calm the hell down. That's too excited, man. You're ruining it. Arsenal can win the FA Cup. Give me something to be positive about then. Like I said, if it's raining outside, don't tell me there's sun. I know when it rains, eventually there's going to be sun, but where's the weather's forecast? Like I said, please, if you want to do some nonsense, please go elsewhere. If you want to bury your head in the sand, this ain't here. Whenever I click on a live stream for YouTube, it says not for kids. This ain't for kids. This ain't for people to bury their head in the sand, man. 2 more games, we have to hold some licks before we get out of first gear, bro. It could be gazy. DG, what's the way out when your owner does not care or have any sporting ambition, boy? Stopping the negativity doesn't mean we'll improve quick or some stupid comment. Bro, I don't even think it's negativity. What positives do you see? What do you see? I don't know what the hell's going on with there. Let me just give you the link. I mean, the code. FPL. Fuck's sake, man. There's always some problems with this FPL nonsense, man. But nonetheless, 1 sec. We'll just go to the code business people, man. Keep it old school. I don't know what's going on with the link. But Where is it? DG Nation League. I'm 89, 87th. Sad, man. I don't even want to invite more people to this thing, but I've copied the auto link, but here it is, people, for those of you that want to be in the fantasy league. It's there for you guys. I can't see what Arteta is trying to do. Lost respect for these players. Xhaka, only one that believes he's too good for us. I would fully back Wenger. Take Wenger back. At least he knows how to get the best out of his players. Where overreacting, fair play, man. Go elsewhere, then, innit? Like, if you feel this negative or overreacting, you've got to ask yourself why at 11 something in the morning you're listening to this. No one's an expert. We're just commenting on what we see, David, and it is only one game. But again, this isn't the place for you. Go exit the thing, my guy. You know, you're clearly greater than what we are. We're just mere mortals among you, David. Please spare us. We'd all love Conte, but it's a myth, man. What changes that do I want to see? Obviously, I want personnel, but the mentality, man. Arteta has to get that through to the players, but there's some of I just feel with these players, they've got to arrest themselves, man. Which position looked most at risk last night, DG? It's Jack, the whole thing, man. Centre mid, right back, the same areas. Bro, it's been more than 17 months. Bro, them man there no more than us. Like I said, we're mere mortals. Them man there got UEFA licenses, bro. Those who know better do better. So if you know better, if you think we're being negative, if you think I'm being negative or anybody listening, please, YouTube, there's millions of videos. There's thousands of YouTubers. Please do the right thing. Clip, go, move, bye. We ain't got time for that. You know, opinions are free. You lot can do that, what you need to do, but we're not here for that. We're at 502 likes. People, first things first. I'm very much appreciative of that. Arsenal need to stop trying to walk it in. We don't even walk it in. We get to the final further. We're like, oh my God, side to side, backwards, back to Leno. Like, it's not happening. You know it's bad when you have 3 right backs on the bench. I don't know who we can sell. There's no 3 or 4. Clearly, we're struggling to shift on players, man. How the man still find a way to get onto Xhaka? I don't think Xhaka was the worst player on the field at all yesterday. I think he stood up more than some of his experienced players. But again, it's not the strongest of foundations. You know, we're building our house on the sand and complaining about this sort of stuff. It's crazy, man. But see what happens, man. Bro, I mean, let's be real. You know, I know certain people are crying for Wenger and Emre, but let's be real. Emre needed to go. Wenger needed to go. I feel sorry for Emre in comparison to Arteta. I think he needed to go. But in comparison to some of the luxuries that Arteta is being afforded to keep his job, there's an issue. DG's on smoke today. I wouldn't say I'm on smoke at all, man. I'm just here to talk with you guys. And, you know, anyone that thinks it's negative, go elsewhere, man. You know, if you want to, it's so funny how when they're saying that if we turned it around and won, and I'm being ridiculously positive, no one wants to tell me I'm being too positive. You lot just want to hear you just want to hear things you want to hear, which go and listen to your girlfriend. I'm sure your girlfriend will tell you you're the sexiest man in the world and all of these things. Here, we're talking about what we're seeing. Spot on, bro. We need to get our focus and mentality straight. The players look lost. The manager has to go. How long do you think the manager then, like, what you think will happen if we lose our next 2 games? He'll keep his role, man. You got to remember when Emre went, they were trying to give him a new deal, you know, and you've got to remember it's fun and games saying sack him. I'm not saying that sacking him is the right or wrong option, but you know, you've got to have a replacement. You've got to deal with it. And do I think they're going to do that, especially when we don't even know what's happening in the transfer front and they've betted so much on him? Probably not. He's going to get the luxuries of it's still not my squad. I still need to develop. Now, if things can persist and they get wrong, then we're in issues, man. Some people don't want to hear it, Mac. Some people don't want to hear real, but let them do what they need to do, man. No, I'm not saying you're crying for Emre, bro, at all. I agree. I think Emre was hounded out for some of the things people make luxuries for Arteta. I agree. Yeah, Arsenal clean. I will ignore, man. It's mad. DG, I have to say, I was excited when I saw that lineup. I thought Arteta was going for it. 2 hours later, a different story. Boy. The Congo looked decent. Yeah, man. So what's the number one issue? Arteta's tactics or the personnel? Both. You know, the tactics, I don't know what it's on. The personnel have bad habits or badly coached. Some of them are just bad players, and fundamentally there's a lot of bad attitudes. You know, there's no real reaction. What kills me is resilience. I'm not vexed you when I go down. Things happen in football. You think you're never going to go a goal down. You think you're never going to be a goal down against a promoted side. Things go wrong. You know, football is a funny game. You plan for something all week and something different happens. It's our reactions to adversity what scares me. You know, 1 goal, 2 goal down. We never looked like we believed we could do something. I think you're doing a great job, DG. And those who don't see it just need to bounce. Simple as that. Man, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. How do you expect to win if we don't score, bro? Ask Arteta, I beg. To be honest, our team last night wasn't even bad. It's just how we play the game. Arteta's tactic and all that is in the bin. Stop spamming, brother. The real question, which manager out there if we sack Arteta? Spurs found it difficult to find, and we're in the same boat as them, if not worse. And the club won't take that risk. This is where it's a madness. Do you think Roberto Martinez could do a job as Arsenal manager? Allow me, man. It's going from one headache to another one. Boy. Bro, Arteta did, you know, I think Arteta's gone back on a lot of things he was doing, really. You know, I think, you know, he doesn't play as attacking as he thinks. I think he thinks about the opposition a bit too much. I think on that FA Cup win to last season, something's changed. Of course, I would take Zidane, and just for, if nothing more, the vibes, man. It's where we might be, really, just the vibes. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. But I can't lie, I had a selfish reason to do this live stream, people. It was my own therapy. I feel a lot better. On that topic, though, I need to go Sainsbury's quickly, and I'll be back again, exclusive to Twitch at 12:20, people, as we focus on Manchester United versus Leeds United in the Premier League. So hope to see you all there. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and things. Timestamps and all of these things will come up. But on that note, commiserations to Arsenal fans. I'll catch you lot in a bit, man. Like I said, 12:20.
Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.